Sagittarius, and welcome to Half Horse Tarot. I am here with your monthly reading for the month of September 2018. Before we get started, I do just want to go ahead and mention that I have done monthly readings and mid-month updates for the month of August. I'm still filming these within the month of August, so if you haven't watched those, do make sure to go back and take a look at those readings and just see how the energies from August are kind of carrying throughout September. You know, it can be really beneficial, give you a little bit more insight. And additionally, make sure to check out your moon sign and rising signs for the readings to get some more information, or in the event that this particular reading doesn't happen to resonate with you, regarding your sun sign. So, starting off with the reading for Sag this month, front and center, we have the Temperance card in reverse. So Temperance is the card of Sagittarius. With the card being, first of all, front and center, it says to me that this reading this month is going to be primarily focused on you. Or if you are cross-watching, it's going to be primarily focused on the Sagittarian. Another thing with this card being in the reverse, it tells me that some of you guys may be feeling a little bit out of sorts in the month of September. You know, you're not really, because when I look at this card in the upright, look, you have the perfect combination of the water and the fire element. So there's a balance there. So maybe things in the month of September feel a little bit out of whack, out of sorts. You may feel a little bit unstable or imbalanced in some areas of your life. For others of you, you're just going to be incredibly impatient this upcoming month. You're going to be ready to go, move on into something new. And you're not really heeding the moderation warning almost that comes with the Temperance card. That patience, that balance, not doing anything in excess or really overexerting yourselves. So in terms of a central issue, that's just going to be something to keep in mind. You know, sometimes things go on externally to us that we can't really control, that makes us feel a little bit out of our element, a little bit imbalanced, and there's not much we can do about that. But however, we can manage our own levels of patience and moderation and make sure that we ourselves are not doing anything to really jump the gun and to move ahead before we're ready to do so. So in the distant past, you guys have the Six of Pentacles in the upright. I really like this card. You know, it's all about give and take. From a financial aspect, it can be about, you know, getting money from people. Maybe people have been giving you a little bit of money here and there to help you kind of get by. Maybe some of you guys have been doing some charitable work and you've been collecting donations from people. Others of you can be in the position of the giver. So maybe you've been the one who's been donating to people. Maybe you've been helping people kind of support themselves and maybe get through a rough patch. The Six of Pentacles is also known as the hiring firing card. So this in some cases can mean that you might have left a job. You don't have to necessarily be fired from the job. Maybe you put in your 2 weeks notice or whatever the case may be. And others of you may have gotten hired in a new job. But, you know, I really do like that energy. There's definitely that element of give and take and of compassion there. So all in all, that does seem to be a pretty positive card being in your past. Next to it, you guys have the Hermit in the reverse. And the Hermit can be the sign of Virgo. But I think that this is mostly going to relate to you guys. So the Hermit in the upright is all about kind of going away from society and using that light that he's got in his hand to kind of find enlightenment. It's like you separate yourselves until you've gained that enlightenment. And then once you have, you kind of reintegrate yourself back into society, taking whatever it is that you learned and using that knowledge and that enlightenment to move forward. So with that being in the reverse in your recent past, I think a lot of you guys have started to kind of come out of that solitary confinement, quote unquote, maybe a little bit of a funk that you guys were in. And whatever knowledge that you may have received during your time of introspection, any thinking that you may have done, I think it's going to really help propel you forward, moving throughout the month of September. For others of you, you know, because Temperance is in the reverse, there may be a need to kind of go back to that Hermit energy, to take some time out to really think things through, not to allow that energy of that enlightenment to be blocked. And that'll help you to regain a bit more balance as we go through the month of September. So it's going to kind of apply differently to different people based on whatever it is that you've been doing, probably within the last, I would say, 6 weeks or so. So, but overall, you know, it does seem to be positive energy. It's like you're being more giving of yourself. You know, people may be coming to your aid if you've been dealing with some problems lately, but you know, you're not retreating within anymore. Now it's like you've kind of had that awakening and you're ready to come back into the fold and to really kind of reintegrate yourselves, especially socially, or even in terms of your work, anything to do with your material world. So the cards that are above your central issue are cards that I see as being external energies. These can be things that are being done to you by someone else, something that someone else in your life is going through, energy that the universe is bringing in, or just generally speaking, things that are not really within your control. They can also be things that are going on in your head. For a lot of you guys, I think this is primarily going to be stuff that's going on in your mind, and also maybe a little bit of energy coming in from the universe. So I'll explain that, because at the top of your reading, you guys have the Knight of Pentacles in the upright, and I always see the knights as energy, even though, you know, I do throw out that they can be people because they are a court card. If so, that would be male or female. They'd more likely than not be an earth sign, which is Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo, sun, moon, or rising. Just in case that resonates with anybody, you know, you do have the Virgo card here and also the Capricorn card here, and a lot of earth energy. So that might make sense for some of you guys, but mostly I do think it's going to be an energetic thing. You know, if it is a person, they seem to be pretty positive. I don't really have anything overall like negative to say about them. If they are a Virgo, they may be a little bit out of sorts, but nothing major. So, especially like financially. But moving on, energetically, it's like things are finally starting to move forward. The Pentacles suit is the slowest suit of the tarot. So when the Pentacles comes in, it's like things may be taking a long time to develop, but because it is a Pentacles card, whatever is taking root is going to be a really solid path for you, a really solid opportunity, a really solid offer. Whatever it is, there's going to be a strong foundation there. You know, with the Knight of Wands energy, Wands being the fastest suit, that can be like come and go, you know, not really reliable. This Pentacles energy is dependable. So if something does come in for you in terms of an offer, especially regarding a job offer, I think that it's going to be something that you should really consider pursuing, because it does seem to be positive and something that can bring you, you know, a lot of, I don't want to say material wealth. I don't think everybody's going to get rich, but puts you in a better place financially than you have been in. It might take some time to get there, again, with the Pentacles being so slow, but there is definitely the potential to get there. So beneath that card, you guys have the Ten of Swords in reverse. I always like seeing this card in the reverse as opposed to seeing it in the upright. You know, in the upright, you have this really painful, brutal ending. You might have feelings of being betrayed, stabbed in the back, etc., etc. Whatever it is, something has 100% ended. It was awful, but now you're starting to recover from it. You're starting to work through it. These swords are falling out of this guy's back, and there is healing that is going on. So I do think that that's more so something that's going on within your head. If you have been going through a bit of a rough time lately, maybe you've been dealing with some people who didn't have your best interest at heart, maybe you've been having some financial issues, whatever it may be, if you could have gotten fired from a job out of nowhere, you are starting to recover from that hurt, that pain, that loss, that metaphorical death. So I do like to see that, especially being above you, you know, really working through those negative feelings and coming out better for it and out on the other side. So I really do like that energy. A lot of you guys may still be working through that because there is that Knight of Pentacles there. Again, just kind of slow forward movement. But all in all, it's some good energy. So the cards that are beneath your central issue are cards that I see as being like foundational energy. These cards may represent things that are already known to you, things that you've been bringing with you throughout probably the last few months. They can also be things that are just within your realm of control. So right beneath your card, Temperance, you guys have the Nine of Pentacles in the upright. This is an awesome card. I do also like that this is beneath you and within your control. The Nine of Pentacles is somebody who is very independent. They have a wealth of resources. You know, they've really put in the work and the time, and you can see the fruits of their labor. They're also somebody who doesn't need to rely on anybody else for anything. They can stand on their own 2 feet and hold their own ground. So I really do like that there's that energy of independence and abundance and you know, just really something representing all the hard work that you've been doing these last few months. And I like that that's beneath you. And I do think that that's kind of like a reminder to say, hey, you know, you guys are stronger than you think you are. You have the ability to be independent. You don't have to rely on other people as much as you may think you need to. You can enact the changes in your life that you want to see. You have that power. You know, you're also at the 9. You're almost at the 10. So we are approaching the end of a cycle, especially in regards to our material world. So maybe there are some of you guys who are considering leaving a job. Maybe you want to kind of set out on your own, do your own thing, go in a new direction, a new path. There's definitely the potential for that to happen this month. We do have the 9 of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles, even though it's in the reverse, and the Ace of Pentacles. So there is a cycle that is wrapping up, especially in regards to our material world. So our finances, you know, our homes, our jobs, things like that. And beneath the 9 of Pentacles, you guys have the Page of Swords. So this can be a person. They would likely be younger to you. If so, they would probably be an air sign. And that is Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini, and they could be male or female. I, again, don't really see the pages as people. I just throw that out there in case it resonates with anybody. If it is a person, they seem to be fairly positive, fairly stable energy. Again, they may just be a bit out of sorts in terms of their finances, or they may be a little too stuck in their own head, but all in all, they seem to be a positive energy. But I think that this is more so going to be in terms of an energy for you guys, or in terms of communication. So the Page of Swords, the sword suit's kind of about like written communication. It can be about legalities. So maybe you have some contracts that you have to fill out and get sent off or whatever. Maybe you're waiting for some sort of legal communication to come in. So for example, maybe you have left a job and you are kind of branching out on a new path and you want to get started at this new job. Maybe you're waiting for an offer from them to come in. Maybe you are waiting for the documents that you need to finalize your employment with them. So, you know, all in all, it's kind of about just getting things squared away regarding any sort of legal documentation, especially, but also in terms of communication, you know, written communication, verbal communication, things like that. You know, if it does represent communication in general, it does seem to be positive. It may be a little slow to come in just because it is mirrored by the Knight of Pentacles, which again is that slow energy, but it's going to come in. Might just take a little time to get there. But, you know, if you are waiting for something to come in, don't let yourselves get impatient. It's going to happen. Likewise, if you do have to be the one to send something out, because the cards are beneath you, that is all within your control. So, you know, you kind of decide maybe you want to put in an application for something, and so that's going to be on you to get that sent out. But overall, I'm really liking that Nine of Pentacles energy. You know, I can't get enough of that being something that is, you know, within your control, or something that's just within your foundation that you've been, you know, carrying with you for a while now. It's great energy. So moving into the near future, you guys do have the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. This can symbolize some sort of financial issues. Maybe you're dealing with issues within your family. You know, for instance, sometimes the Ten of Pentacles can represent inheritances. Maybe there's a bit of a delay getting some money in, you know, squaring things away in terms of an estate. All in all, I don't think it's bad. And the reason why I say that is because, you know, you do have this Nine of Pentacles in the upright here. It might just take some time for you guys to flip the 10 up into the upright position. But the overall energy for your spread is the Ace of Pentacles. So there is definitely kind of like wrapping up the cycle. You do have two 10s in the reading, the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. So I definitely think that there is this element of bringing things to a close and really starting to move forward into something new, a new path, especially in terms of your material world. So to put that in a bit simpler terms, moving forward throughout the month of September, especially in the beginning of the month, you might be a little bit out of sorts, might be a little bit imbalanced, especially within the home, within your family, also in terms of your material world, possibly your finances. Things might be a little slow. You might be waiting on somebody to come in and it's just taking some time. I do think that it's going to eventually happen, but again, don't lose patience. You know, you do have the Devil card here. The Devil is representative of the sign of Capricorn, so it may take until we get to Capricorn season, which is right after Sagittarius season, to really wrap things up or to get to where you want to be. But all in all, I don't think it's going to be overly negative. I don't think people are going to be getting divorced or anything like that, or your home life is going to fall apart. There's not really anything terrible linked to that card. I do just think that there may be some issues in terms of getting sort of like legal documents squared away regarding finances, wills, estates, inheritances, whatever. The only card that's really, really concerning me is that this Devil card at the end of the month. So the Devil is kind of like a toxic card. It can be about addictions. It can be about just like negative mindsets, toxic relationships, toxic people, toxic work environments even. And so some of you guys at the end of the month may still be stuck in a place where you don't particularly want to be. You know, you have, you're making some movement forward on a mental level. Things may be starting to slowly happen for you in terms of what's going on in your life. And you know, beneath you guys, you do have this element of independence. Everything looks really great foundationally, but it's kind of like a situation to me where you might have to stay somewhere you don't want to stay to get to where you want to go. To make that make sense, for instance, if you are in a job that you hate, maybe your boss is, you know, a douchebag, you want to get out, you want to move forward into something new, but you are not quite able to take that leap yet. You know, financially, maybe you're not ready to break away 100%. Maybe you're not completely ready to cut the cord yet and to really embrace this Ace of Pentacles energy, this new path. You might have to wait a little bit until you are able to be secure enough to leave what you're in now and to move into something new. The only danger with that is that you stay trapped in that situation so long that you miss out on an opportunity, or that you continue to subject yourselves to a situation that is so incredibly toxic that it doesn't allow you to move forward and be independent in the way that you know that you can and that you need to. When I did this spread and I put the Devil card down there though, I got less that it was related to toxic relationships and more that it was related to toxic mindsets. I saw this card probably for the first time that I've done a reading in a while as being like the Eight of Swords. And to me, or even the Nine of Swords, it's kind of about fear and self-imposed restrictions and prisons. When I saw the card, when I laid it down, I got incredibly anxious. So I do think that for a lot of people, it's just gonna be this overwhelming sense of anxiety and perhaps even fear at the end of the month. Like maybe you are really, really concerned that you can't make it on your own, that you can't move on from something, some sort of painful ending, that, you know, you're gonna spend your whole lives having to rely on other people to take care of you and to help you. That whatever new path or new opportunity, new energy is coming in is just not going to pan out. It's very, very fear-based to me. And so I am concerned that some people are going to get too caught up in their own heads, that they're going to inadvertently restrict themselves and not be able to move forward this month. So do just keep that in mind and be on the lookout and make sure that you're not allowing yourselves to become trapped like that, because the overall energy for your spread is the Ace of Pentacles. It is in the upright. There is a new beginning coming for most of you. It's probably going to be in regard to your material world, finances, or career, just because of the overwhelming abundance of Pentacles cards that we have here. But it can even be in terms of a relationship. Whatever it is, it's a new path. It's a stable path. It's something that's going to be fruitful. And you know, I really, really like that energy that's overshadowing this entire reading. So there is a new path, a new opportunity available for you. It's just all about, by the end of this month, not getting so caught up in your own head that you allow these negative mindsets to restrict you from moving forward in the way that you want to move forward. So I do have some oracle cards here that help to give me a little bit more information regarding the energies from your past and the energies that you're going to have helping you out moving forward through the month of September. So in the past, you guys have the red panda, or compassion. This is all about being empathetic to other people, really being able to put yourselves into other people's shoes. In some cases, it can be about being so concerned about the feelings of others that you are hesitant to, you know, cast any blame or to call a spade a spade. You know, if you are dealing with this devil energy, this toxic energy, somebody who's just, you know, really manipulative, and I don't really get abusive, but it seems like they kind of know how to work your strings, almost like a marionette. Not like you might have been so compassionate and passive regarding them that you kind of become a doormat. That is past energy though. You know, I'm not saying to completely give up your compassion and not to care about other people, but I do think there's definitely a need for balance, you know, not giving so much of yourselves that you lose yourselves in the process, or even allow yourselves to get caught up in a really toxic situation. So that's in the past though. Just be sure that you're not carrying that doormat energy forward, but that you are being compassionate toward other people and expecting that level of compassion in return from people in your life. You know, it's a two-way street here. It's give and take. So do just keep that in mind moving forward if you are still dealing with that kind of energy. So in the future, your energy is the spider or the weaver. The spider is, this card is actually a reference to the Native American mother spider figure. And she created the first dream catcher. And so it's all about weaving your own web in life and keeping in mind that if you have woven a web that you are not happy with, that you can dismantle it and go back to the beginning and start over again. In other words, you hold the keys to your own destiny. You have the ability to manifest whatever it is you want to manifest in your lives. Do not allow yourselves to become bogged down by negative mindsets that hold you back, that keep you from letting go of things that no longer serve you or that are not healthy for you, and prevent you from moving forward into something new and something that's going to be more positive for you. So moving forward through the month of September, really harness the energy of the spider. Take the time to decide whether whatever is going on in your life is what you want. If you are where you want to be, or if you want to move in a new direction. And then once you have made that decision, acting accordingly. Whether or not you have to go back to square one and start over again, you know, you're gonna have the ability to manifest whatever it is you want. Just don't let yourselves get caught up in negative mindsets, because that will prevent you from moving forward. So overall, the energy is, you know, a little bit hectic, a little bit chaotic. You know, we do have some potential for a bit of financial issues moving forward through September. But all in all, I think that you guys are starting to make strides, taking steps and moving forward. You know, you do have energetically some positive things coming in. It just may take some time. So don't lose faith. Don't get impatient. You know, good things are coming your way. And most importantly, do not allow fear to rule your life. So, you know, all in all, I'm really excited about that Ace of Pentacles. So I do hope that this reading resonates with some of you guys. Let me know in the comments below if it does. Again, check out your moon sign and rising signs if you need some more information, or if this reading didn't resonate and you want to see if your moon sign or rising sign reading happens to resonate. If you like the video, I would definitely appreciate giving it a thumbs up, sharing, subscribing to the channel. I do want to take a moment just to thank all of you guys who have already done so, who have watched my videos, left encouraging comments, giving me thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. You know, I really appreciate it as I'm starting to get this channel off of the ground. I definitely appreciate that support. So again, let me know if this resonated with you guys, and I will see you in a couple of weeks with your mid-month update.